T-minus 50 seconds. T-minus 40 seconds. T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Public service announcement. I need all my Titan fans to come on down. Grab you some popcorn, grab you a drink. Titans Colosseum in the building. Yeah, not, boy, I'm in the game. Still ballin' out, never change. I be rapping my hometown for the whole city, really knew my name. Boss talk, I don't do favors. Yeah, we signing deals with the top players. We just started this lifestyle. We be having all kind of haters. I'm a madman, they better come get me. Wanna box me in, but I'm too shifty. If they come at me sideways, I'ma stiff on me like Derrick Henry. Now listen, we're not the same. EA Sports, boy, I'm in the game. I be rapping my city, dog. Got a Titan logo hanging on the chain. Big money, big moves. New stadium on the way. Nashville, we hold it down. We the one team that you don't wanna play. They be trying to talk down on us. I just laugh at them and I walk away. I don't tolerate disrespect. Might shoot a fade, penny hard away. Big money, big moves. New stadium on the way. Nashville, we hold it down. We the one team that you don't wanna play. We be putting in the hard work, so we coming in with all kind of skill. I be living in the end zone. My finger roll like Tannehill. What's poppin'?
Yo, what's poppin'? Welcome to the Titans Colosseum podcast, man. Yo, 5-star RJ, do-rag RJ, might say. How y'all fellas feeling tonight?
I'm feeling good, man. You know what I'm saying? When I put the do-rag on, it means it's time for me to be serious, man. It's time for me to be truthful, tell y'all what it was really going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, 5-star, what's poppin'?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. Marako, where that energy at, man? Where is it at tonight, bro? We got some good news. You came on here like this was a depressing night.
Yeah, man, we gonna get it popping, man. You know me. It take a little bit for me to get started over, but once I get on it, man, we gonna take it there, man. But man, let's go ahead and talk to the people before we get this thing rocking and rolling, man.
Alrighty, for sure, man. This episode is brought to you by the Lions Den Beard Collection. If you get all your top luxurious products for your beard, whether you're starting it off or you're trying to keep it in top shape, go to lionsdenbeardcollection.com. Use promo code Colosseum, get 25% off your order. As well as this episode is brought to you by sunnysmilescoffee.com, the freshest roasted coffee out there right now. They got several of flavors. If you don't know which flavors you want to try, they have sample packs for you as well. And currently they're running a deal for free shipping on all the U.S. orders. So go to sunnysmilescoffee.com and place your order today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And while you ordering all those good products, man, go ahead and log on Facebook. Join the Titans Army community at The Titans Army, man. I mean, they one of the best up-and-coming groups out there on Facebook. Everybody on there gonna keep it funky with you. It ain't, I mean, outside of the fan foolishness, you know, you ain't gonna get no foolishness out the admins. They stand up people, and, you know, they gonna take care of their business, man. So y'all make sure y'all go to Titans Army and join that group. And let me shout out everybody in the chat tonight, man. We got a lot of day ones in the building. Shout out to Chiefer, Brandon, Nancy, Brian, D, CJ, everybody that's watching tonight. Hey, thank y'all. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, tell a friend about us, blah, blah, blah. This, that, and the third. Y'all ready to get to this two-tone business?
Yeah, bro. Hey, I know you wasn't here too, but you know, I put a little twist on the graphic for you know the little segment thing for us. So you know, I'm ready to see your live reaction for this.
Man, hey, let's roll it
already.
damn near made me jump out my seat a little bit.
It got me too the first time he did it. I was like, wait a minute, what?
I was thinking it was gonna be the same old, and then it's over.
Throw a little twist on it.
Yeah, you hit me upside the head with that one, man. But man, as y'all already know, man, the Titans head coach search is over with. The Titans, they went and got their guy, Brian Callahan, former OC of the Cincinnati Bengals. And I'm gonna start it off. I'm gonna start it off with Firestone because I'm gonna say Durag RJ. I'm gonna say Durag RJ for a little bit later on. But Firestone, your initial thoughts about Brian Callahan being announced as the Titans' new head coach?
Man, I really thought this organization was about to fumble another hire, bro. I really, really did, man. I thought we was about to go get another DC or, all the good guys was going to go. But, hey, they didn't drop the ball. They didn't fumble this one. They went ahead and got Brian Callahan, which was one of my two top candidates I was looking for. It was him and Bobby Slowick. So I was excited for them to announce that when they did, because as I started doing more research and diving into these candidates, I was leaning more towards Brian Callahan than I was Bobby Slowick because, I brought it up in the chat discussions like, hey, man, Kyle Shanahan's tree is hitting and everybody's a hit, but how many times are you going to keep batting 100%? And when is you going to hire one that doesn't work out? And are we willing to really chance if Bobby's going to be it? So I kept leaning more towards Brian, especially with his dad's connection, the way he's been 14 years in the league, 5 years coaching. He's been to Super Bowl within the past 5 years. So he knows how to get to where we're trying to get, and he knows how to get there now. He knows how to develop players. He knows how to grow wide receivers and QBs. And obviously he knows what it takes to get an offense that can score 30 plus points in a game as well. So I was really excited that this hire happened because I was really expecting the Titans organization to, go and get another lackluster hire. But, man, they didn't. They surprised me.
All right, y'all ready for me? I thought you were Marako.
Yeah, we're ready for Durag, man. Go ahead, turn up Durag.
First of all, I'm gonna go and give my shout out to my mama. You know what I'm saying? Not Mama Ellison. I love her to death too. You know what I'm saying? But Mama Amy. You know what I'm saying? She went out and got her dude, man. Yeah, I know y'all read the report, bro, about dude. You know what I'm saying? About his flight got canceled, and Miss Amy hopped on that private jet and went out there to go get Brian Callahan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know you already had one. Okay, yeah. So Brian Callahan's flight got canceled. You know what I'm saying? Amy hopped on that private jet. She said, we're gonna get my guy. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get my guy. And from what I've heard from Rand Carthon is that was the guy. I mean, I ain't gonna say I don't think Rand Carthon said it, but for what I've heard, that he's been the guy since the Vrabel firing. Like, he's been the guy that said they wanted. They've interviewed other candidates. I know Bobby Slowick was my number one guy, but as the process kept going, I started doing my little research on the other candidates. But excuse me, Brian Callahan started to go up that list, and sooner or later, I had to just realize that he's going to be better in developing a quarterback. He has more of a proven track record of developing a quarterback than Bobby Slowick has. And I do like Bobby Slowick. I think he's going to be a good coach in the future, but he's only been with the Houston Texans for 1 year. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't have the experience that Brian Callahan does. And Brian Callahan has been to 3 Super Bowls, if you didn't know that. He's been to 3 of them. He's lost 2, you know what I'm saying, and he won 1, so that's good to hear. He knows he's been to the big game 3 times. It isn't nothing new to him, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully he can get there as a head coach, man. And I feel like, man, thank you, Miss Amy. Thank you, Rand Carthon, man. I really do like this hire, man. I'm glad that the Titans are finally getting away from this run pass mindset. We're getting to more of a new generation of the Tennessee Titans, a new foundation, a new vision. You know what I'm saying? And I can't wait to watch the introductory press conference, man. So waiting on the Tennessee Titans to come out there and say something about it.
And man, he's a balanced guy too, because it's not like the Bengals only pass, bro. They got Joe Mixon over there. They know how to run when they need to run. They know when to pass when they need to pass. That was a really good thing about that. So, bro, I was excited about it. And like, to your point, Brian Callahan's a little bit more. All these guys in his coaching this time, because we wasn't looking at Jim and we wasn't looking at Belichick. So all the guys we were looking at already was kind of a gamble because they haven't been first-time head coaches. Some of these guys haven't played called plays. So when you start looking at Brian and Bobby Slowick, for me, it was just like, yeah, Slowick's still a little new. It's a little bit more of a gamble than it is with Brian. And Brian, like you said, more as you dug in with Brian, you just realize, man, this dude knows football. It seems like he don't only know how to develop players, but he also knows how to put people in the right position to do what he wants to do as well.
I'm gonna go over his coaching history before I give my thoughts. Denver coaching assistant in 2010. He was the offensive quality control coach for Denver as well as offensive assistant. Then he went to Detroit and he was the quarterbacks coach in Detroit and Oakland at the time. And in 2019, he became the offensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals. And some of the quarterbacks that he worked with during his time was Peyton Manning. Think he worked with Tim Tebow as well for whatever that's worth. Worked with Matt, but he did a little something with Tebow, man. He did a little bit with Tebow. I mean, shoot, they got to the playoffs or whatever. So yeah. So anyway, worked with Derek Carr, Matt Stafford, and of course Joe Burrow. So this guy, he has experience working with some of the best quarterbacks that have played in the NFL. And I'm not saying fucking Matt Stafford is the best quarterback played in the NFL and all that old foolishness. But I mean, this man right here, I mean, he has experience working with quarterbacks. And something that I took notice to while I was doing my research up on them was just about all these quarterbacks had 4,000 plus passing yard seasons. So I look at Will Levis and I compare him to the likes of Matt Stafford, Derek Carr, and I think under Callahan, I mean Will Levis has a chance to do some of those things if he stays healthy and he develops properly as a passer. Now, one thing about Levis is he's going to have to become a better decision maker, in which I feel confident that Callahan and whoever he brings along on his coaching staff, I feel confident that they can help Will Levis get to that point. And yesterday when I got the news, it wasn't surprising to me. I always felt like, Callahan was their guy. I mean, they didn't waste any time setting up interviews with him. And as we just saw, Amy brought out the jet for this guy. I mean, she was not going to let this opportunity pass her. And even though, they went and they got their guy as fast as they did, they also did a thorough coaching, a thorough process throughout the coaching search or whatnot. I mean, they brought in legitimate candidates or whatnot. They even brought in, Antonio Pierce, in which, he ended up staying with the Raiders. Brought in another guy that, could be considered a quality candidate, and the OC from Carolina. I just went blank on him. Thomas Brown. They brought him in and whatnot. And I would actually I'm actually thinking about him as, the offensive coordinator here. I mean, I can't knock him for the foolishness that was going on in Carolina. And, he did, come up in that same system that, Callahan and Zach Taylor was in, the Shanahan West Coast offense type system or whatnot. And Thomas Brown, he was actually Sean McVay's assistant head coach, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, quality candidates. And like I said, go ahead.
So this is where I have a question with that too, because that's my thought process as well as Thomas Brown. But I heard something today that kind of throws a wrench in that for me that pops a big question too, is because, all right, we're talking about Brian bringing his dad over to coach, and we want that as well. Well, he's already still under contract in Cleveland, right? So technically, you can't leave a job for a lateral job. So you can't leave as an O-line coach for an O-line job coach job.
Well,
You have to leave for an elevated position, or Cleveland would have to trade him to us. So
no,
would
that's
you
not.
not say
It's
just
it's
okay?
so
Go ahead.
they can leave for a lateral job, but Cleveland can block it. They can
Right.
block it.
Okay.
Yeah, they can block
Okay.
it. That's what it is. So he
Okay.
can't
So
leave for a
that's why I
lateral
was
job.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so if he
it
was
can
leave
get
like that way,
blocked.
would you bring in his dad as OC, Munchak as O-line coach, just in case if Thomas don't come over here as OC and goes back to Panthers to stay at what he already has as a job, or go somewhere else to possibly be a head coach candidate? Is that something you could see too? Is his dad coming in as OC and then Munchak coming as O-line coach?
I wouldn't want his dad as OC. I'm just gonna go ahead
So
and
just
keep it real
O-line?
with you.
Just
Yeah,
give him
just
the
O-line coach, man. I
just
mean,
give him
I
a
do not
assistant.
want that old ass mindset. It's as respected as he is, because Bill Callahan, I mean, he's very respected around the league. But you brought Brian Callahan in here for a reason. You brought Brian Callahan in to modernize the offense, and
Yeah.
I just feel like with an OC of his dad's age, you're not going to be doing much modernizing. He's going to be in that mindset like, we've got to establish the run or whatnot. And,
Or he could be like, I want to make sure my son succeeds, so I'm gonna implement what my son wants. So I mean, it could go either way. But I agree with you.
say
I don't
give him
want him at OC. I want him either O-line or assistant head coach. You give him
Yeah,
something like
that's
that
what I
type
give
of
him. Give him
title.
a title. Yeah, give him a
Yeah.
title like assistant head coach where he can kind of look over his son. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't just saying like control him, but like if he see that he's doing something, he could basically like. That's why I now I know we're gonna get to this a little bit later, but I know in the little Keyshawn Johnson and Skip Bayless thing, they would basically talk about how he wasn't qualified for the job, and I was like, if he hires his dad can fill in a lot of the gray areas that he's gonna have as a head coach, and I just I didn't agree with some of them takes. But at the same time, though, I look at it like this, though. I would love to have Mike Munchak back. If we can just get him as an assistant head coach, and then we hire Mike Munchak, we had some of the greatest offensive line minds. You know what I'm saying? Looking at our O-line, man, I'd be happy, man, because protecting Will Levis should be number one key moving forward. You know what I'm saying, with the Titans franchise.
Facts.
So RJ, you brought up what the fools were saying on the national level, whatever. Let's go ahead and see what these buffoons had to. Yeah, man. I mean, they just so freaking ridiculous, bro. I mean, y'all done heard me on this show go off on them so many times. I ain't even got the energy for it tonight. All I'll say is Brian Callahan would have been a home run high had he went to the Chargers or, any other team besides Tennessee. I mean, it seems like the national media just got some type of agenda or smear campaign against the Titans, in which, I kind of understand, but then again, I don't. I mean, is it a thing
we trying to change it?
Yeah.
Well, I say this.
ahead.
Look, it's just because, look, man, our fan base isn't that big, bro. Let's keep it up. Let's keep it a whole bean on this stream, man. Like our fan base isn't that big, and we don't have like 100,000 haters like the freaking Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna bring their viewership. So they're gonna bash us because they don't care about us. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, man. They got to talk about it because we're making good moves. You know what I'm saying? This is a good move, in my opinion. I mean, I'm on Twitter and I'm looking at Texan fans, Colt fans, Jaguar fans. After he got hired, they said, man, the Titans made a good move. If our rivals are saying that, the people that hate us are saying that, you know what I'm saying? Then we clearly made a good move, man. So.
Now I will say this though, like they did bring up some valid points on some things. Now I don't think they're as big as points as like they was trying to make them like, oh, don't make them qualify. No, they're just realistic question marks that we have for them. But all these coaches kind of had some of these question marks, if not all these same question marks. Some of these guys didn't already call plays. But Brian Callahan's not the only guy in this coaching search that didn't call plays. He's not the only guy. But Eric B out there in Washington Commanders, he didn't call plays up. So this ain't like that's a big of a deal. It is a question mark now. Like, okay, you are going to be a head coach, but it's not that big of a concern to me because how many head coaches actually call plays? How many head coaches are actually out there calling every single offensive snap play? They're not. They're letting their OC do that. So the thing that I always kept like, so they brought up those kind of questions like, okay, he hasn't been a head coach. He doesn't call plays. So he brought up some good points. But then when you let Zach start talking about how infrastructure Brian Callahan is and how important he is to the development and what he actually plays, you're like, those kind of settle all those questions for me. Like he is implementing, he is there, he is developing, and Zach sticks up for him and says those things. So yeah, we're going to see now if he can set it as his system and take that next step. But that's any coach changing from a coordinator position coming into head coaches. Okay, now can you take the step into implementing yourself? That's anybody. So yeah, it's a question, but that's a question we would have to for anybody that's a first-time head coach. So that's just not, it's just nonsense to me to act like that's a reason to disqualify a man for his hire. It's not. It's bullshit.
Hey, Firestone, man, you got a special guest in the comment section talking about, man, he need his credit, man.
You should have took that bet right there, didn't you?
I'm glad you didn't bet, Firestone. You almost bet him, bro.
You know what I'm saying? He giving Callahan, his acknowledgement. I mean, do not get Firestone started tonight, man. Firestone is in a great place. Let him stay here.
Hey, I'm not these other guys that are starting to compare Callahan to Vrabel either. Like we had Vrabel.
I think they're two totally opposite different people, man.
Yeah, I'm not about to be like now this is step up, has to be step up for. No, this is foolishness. This is him. All he has to do is make us a better team, not a better team than Mike Vrabel. No, a better team. Let's go compete. Let's go be a respectable offense. Let's go score some points. Let's go. Fuck all that trying to be better than Vrabel. They got to make sure that they took a step. This ain't a breakup. We're not trying to be better than our ex. We're just trying to be better in totality. It's not a him versus Vrabel bullshit. This ain't AJ and Burks and shit. This is Brian Callahan now coming in. Let's let him have a clean slate. Let's not judge him off of what Vrabel did and all that bullshit. Let's just clean slate. Let's have some fun. Let's see what this can do, and let's change this narrative.
Right. Hey, Pig Winkle, he interested in them shirts and them hoodies, man. We getting it together. We most definitely,
we got some big
things. Yeah, we got some things in the works. So we most definitely gonna keep y'all posted.
Within the next couple of weeks, if not, hopefully by Friday. But for the short term, let's just say within the next couple of weeks, we'll have all that set up for y'all. So so y'all can go set up and do all that stuff as well. So we're getting that done hopefully by Friday, if not within the next couple of weeks.
Yes, sir. And shout out to everybody who just jumped in the show. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, tell a friend about us, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. But I wanted to pick back up on the play calling thing or whatnot. I mean, being a first-time play caller, I mean, it ain't the end-all, be-all. I understand the concern about it. I know that, some people wanted Bobby Slowick because, he's got the experience calling plays. But I just want to point this out to y'all as well. You heard multiple reports come out that people around Slowick don't feel like he's ready for a head coaching job. You didn't hear this come out about Callahan. So just take that into consideration. I mean, have your concerns about the play calling, most definitely. I mean, but it's not the end all be all. Because guess what? If it don't go right for him, he can always, have his OC call the plays or whatnot. I mean, it's not a thing to where he's, locked in until death do us part or anything like that. So I just keep in mind, man, it ain't the end all be all, y'all.
Yeah, like the people are putting way too much stock in this play calling thing, man. Look, it is a collective decision from everybody from the bottom to the GA to the to the head coach on when it comes to play calling, man. It's a collective thing, man. Like it ain't just one person that's just sitting there thinking of every single play of nah, they're in the headsets talking to each other, man. And there's a clip there, that we have right here, man, that we can show you. They can basically explain to you, you know what I'm saying, about what Callahan's duties was as a head coach. We're going to go and play it real quick.
Yeah, man. Like he said, man. I mean, it's so much that goes into being an offensive coordinator outside of play calling. I mean, somebody's got to, install the offense. Somebody's got to come up with the concepts, and they done that collectively over there in Cincinnati. So you really just can't discredit the work that Callahan done up over there. I mean, yeah, I get the play calling thing or whatnot, but I mean, like I said, man, it's so much that goes into it. It ain't like, a situation to where he's just got the title and he's just up over there because his buddy gave him a job. Nah, I mean, this man was instrumental in what the Cincinnati Bengals were able to do on their way back to being one of the top teams in the NFL.
And I just don't understand why people's like, well, he didn't call plays. He didn't call plays. He didn't call. Well, guess what? He's not going to do as a head coach, call plays either. His OC's going to call the plays. So it's not like that's why I just don't see why that's such a big deal of like, not go, he's not qualified because he didn't call plays. Well, he's not going to call plays as the head coach neither. So,
well,
why, as long as he knows.
Hold on, before you go forward, he did say that, he plans on, calling plays for the Titans this year, but.
Well, right, because you're going to get somebody in that you got to kind of teach and show. But like that was going to be my point. As long as you know how to teach and show somebody what you're wanting and express to them and articulate how you want it done, and can actually teach somebody to do what you want. It don't matter if you're calling the plays or not. You go bring in somebody that you trust that knows what you want. Then you tell them, hey, this is how I want it done. Go do it for me. That's what a CEO does, and that's what we wanted, right? We want a CEO that can come delegate, teach people that will actually execute properly his vision and his plan. And that's what I think Brian Callahan can do. I think he'll be able to come in here and do that. They made it such a big deal on that Undisputed of like, well, you didn't call plays. Well, he was there developing everybody, and he was there making sure everything was set up in how that culture and how that system wanted to be run. And he was the main piece that made sure everything kept going. And you heard that shit from Zach. So if that's the case, then yeah, you want the guy that kept the ship afloat and kept everything operational and running, and now try to bring that over here and then duplicate that system.
Right. But yeah, something else I need to discuss or whatnot. I've been seeing some of these people that aren't a fan of the hire. They try to throw out this foolishness about, well, he only scored 3 points against the Titans, but then they go on to tell me they wanted Bobby Sloyd. Well, didn't Bobby Sloyd only score 3 points against the Ravens this past weekend? I mean, if you're gonna sit up and discredit that man for only scoring 3 points against the Titans when his quarterback was hurt, when his quarterback wasn't mobile, able to move around like everybody is used to him moving around. I mean, you gotta point out, Bobby Sloyd's hiccups in the playoffs, and also as well, they so quick to forget his time during the Bengals as OC. He also took a 4-11 team with a makeshift offensive line, and he beat the Titans, put up over 30 points against the Titans, didn't allow any sacks. And then they pointed the 9-sack game in the playoffs. They won the fucking game. 9 sacks, and they still found a way to win the game. That's all anybody gives a damn about. Now let's point at the Titans. I love my Titans, but I got to keep it funky on here. You sit up and you talk about 9 sacks after the fact that they won. Now, damn well with the Titans, 9 sacks. Hell, we finna get beat by 40. Hell, we getting beat by 40 points and we give up 5 sacks. So I don't want to hear this foolishness about, oh, he only scored 3 points against the Titans and he gave up 9 sacks. I don't want to hear that foolishness, man. I mean, if you wanted Bobby Sloyd or any other OC to become the head coach, fine. You had the right to believe that. But just because you didn't get your guy don't mean that you should sit up and discredit this guy, because whether you like it or not, he is a legitimate hire. I'm on the way to see bases with him too. I'm not up here saying that, we're going back to the Super Bowl, or you know, we're going to the playoffs next year. I'm not sitting up over here saying any of that foolishness. I'm on a wait and see basis too. But my thing is, I'm not gonna sit up here and doubt and discredit this guy until he gives me a fucking reason to on the football field.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that, man. Like I said, I believe in Rand, man. Ever since Rand got here, man, in that first draft, man, I seen how these players was playing, man. What I like from this rookie class, I said, look, I'm on board Rand. Rand is coming with analytics. He's coming with a new style, man, a new generation of stuff, man. And I like I said, whatever he believes is gonna get us to the Super Bowl, I'm rocking with it until he gives me a reason not to believe. You know what I'm saying? So, Rand and Amy, I'm believing in your vision, man. Just don't give me a reason not to believe. So.
Yeah, bro, and you know me, like I'm still skeptic because, like, you know, Amy's trying to turn some things around. She's young as an owner. Rand is new, so I don't have as much confidence and faith as RJ, but I don't have like no faith in them. I'm just like I'm waiting for you to show and prove me. But each day and each decision that comes, they're building more trust and faith in them that they know what they're doing, that they do have the right. So I'm not fully there, but with each decision, and this one included, I'm building more trust and faith in them. Now, okay, they might not always make the right decisions, but at least I feel now every decision that they make is truly in the betterment of that team. And that's what I'm starting to come to realization with too. And to Marako's point earlier, I don't discredit the Bengals putting up only 3 points of us against us with that Joe Burrow game, because I truly believe that Joe Burrow is going to be in this new Netflix quarterback documentary series, and they truly forced this dude to play during an injury that he shouldn't played on just because of the fact that he was on this Netflix quarterback documentary, and they needed tape, and it just sucked to have one of your 3 quarterbacks get hurt at the very beginning of this shit filming, and you can't pivot and go get somebody else and film now. So I feel like they kind of forces Burrow to play a little bit just because of that shit, because you could clearly tell in that game, Joe Burrow was not at his best. He couldn't plant. He couldn't put his back foot and throw. So that was just a different team. You can't discredit them for that on that 3. The Houston scoring 3 points is a bigger deal to me because of you could see that CJ Stroud didn't have trust in his reading and progression and shit like that. You had your QB out there healthy.
Right, man. You got to look at the full body of work. I mean, that's just what it is. It would have been the same thing with Sloyd, because you had people this weekend coming up with foolishness for Sloyd when the Texans lost. Oh, he only scored 3 points. So the fuck what? Look what he done throughout the season. Like, god dang, like y'all just throw out everybody's total body of work over one game. I mean, imagine if, you know, the professionals actually thought like the fans. I mean, man, the NFL will probably be bankrupt by now if those professionals thought like fans. But something else I wanted to go ahead.
Now, this was something I was going to say too. Now, you have seen, though, and I haven't got fully about this, but you have seen some of the Bengal fans are celebrating and laughing. Like, they're thankful he's gone and laughing at us. So I was wondering, because I didn't get to see too much what they're saying, but I've seen a lot of Titans fans saying, you know, Bengal fans are kind of laughing at us about this, but I don't understand why. Do y'all have any insight why they would think this is such a?
I mean, they do that with every coach. I mean, we did it. We're laughing at people. We're probably gonna laugh at the team that hires Vrabel. I mean, the Houston laughed at us when we hired Vrabel. They was like, our defense sucks. Why would you hire Vrabel? You're dumb. Then we went over to the AFC Championship. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure everybody does it. Everybody laughs. I mean, there was Texas fans that was begging us to hire Bobby Slowick. Like, he's a bad hire. Like, he's not a bad hire, bro. Like, he just had a bad game, man. It is what it is. I mean, y'all played a better team.
Yeah, I know, man, that. Like,
go ahead.
I just know I complained about, like, how are you going to sell this to the coach and this and that. Shout outs to Amy. Sending out the private jet when the flight gets canceled, bro, that's a baller move. That right there, that's the selling points I'm talking about. What you going to do to show this person that you really want them here? Well, when your flight gets canceled, I'm sending a private jet. We want you here. That's the shit that was over and beyond. So bravo, Amy. That's exactly what I was talking about. Good shit.
Wow, man, that's the type of motivation that lets you know, bro. Like, we serious about this shit, bro. We want to win, bro. We're not bullshitting, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's why I love Miss Amy. She want that Super Bowl bad, just like all of us, bro. Like, we want that bitch bad, and we want it bad. We want it better than I feel like we want it bad. That Detroit want one, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like man, we keep counting Detroit out in these playoffs, man. They might fuck around and beat San Francisco, bro. Like they might do it.
Man,
They might do it.
You
They look
never
better
know.
than San Francisco, bro. I don't care. They look like a better team than them, bro. Huh?
As the great ET Eric Turner says, the motivational speakers, bro, you got to want it as bad as you want to breathe. That's when you're going to have it, bro. And I feel like Amy wants a Super Bowl as bad as she wants to breathe right now. But
Bro,
I'm starting to get that, bro. So I had my doubts, but, bro, I had to see this higher. This higher is that. So I believe that we're at least, this might not be like, oh, this might not be a good hire now coming down later on. But at least I feel in this moment that this was a good hire, and this was a hire that was needed and actually leading towards the right path. Will it be? We'll see. But I have faith that they actually made a comprehended or a good decision on this one.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, that he ain't gave me a reason not to, trust what he's trying to do or whatnot, because we haven't played a single game. So until we play a single game, yeah, Tariq, because he hard on him. He got one season to impress him. I mean, shoot, man. And that's what I wanted to talk about. I'm actually glad Tariq said that right there. Shout out to everybody watching tonight. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, tell a friend about us, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. But I wanted to talk about, the expectations going into next season. Now, keep in mind, we still got free agency coming up. And we still got the draft coming up. I mean, we still got a lot coming up or whatever. I mean, we got our head coach, but he still got to hire a coaching staff. But at the same time, I want to say that keep your expectations reasonable, because the Titans are in a rebuild. Now, is it a rebuild along the lines of, what the Texans went through this past season? I mean, I don't think so much, because, I mean, we do have legitimate guys on this roster. You do have Jeff Simmons. You do have Harold Landry. You got DeAndre Hopkins. Hopefully we get Danico Autry back. But, you got some quality guys on this team. And, you got up-and-coming guys, Tajay Spears, Roger McQuarrie. So the rebuild, it may not look like, it's not going to look like anybody else's rebuild. I mean, it could look better. It could look worse. But, and I know what Tariq said, he got one season.
He said, first time I see pass. I think you forgot a pass there, bro. If we punt on third, we in trouble.
Just keep in mind that a rebuild is going to take a little bit, because you can get all the good coaches that you want, but we still need a lot of talent in quite a few positions.
Now, but I will say this though. Now, we are in a rebuild, but it shouldn't take a long rebuild. We should at least within this year, because we got cap space and we got some draft position, we should at least see that we got the pieces to start building that we just got to develop. That's what I want to see in year one, that you've got pieces that we can start building around, or pieces that we can start developing in this draft. So that's what I'm going to be expecting from him and Rand this season, because we got a lot of cap money. We do got some good draft positions. We did get some more draft picks. So we do need to have somewhat of a quick turnaround, because this can't be a long overall rebuild. Because one, I don't think Amy's going to be too kindly to a slow rebuild. I think she wants something quick too, especially how she fired Vrabel. Said she want to get in this coaching search real quick. I don't think she's looking to waste any time. Get it done and let's move. Well, I think we're the third highest cap space coming into free agency. So see the third or fourth, I believe. So yeah, bro, you got to come in here at least. Yeah, so you got to at least bring some talent around here. Like, I know it don't take 1 year, but look what Houston did in 1 year. And yeah, they had the, two, like second and fourth pick, something like that. We don't have that, but we still got free agency that you should at least go get some pieces that this is a 1-2 year rebuild to let us know that this is either going to work or you can't even set the foundation right.
Yeah, man. And just go ahead, RJ.
Yeah, I'll say this, look, man, just like obviously, you know me, I'm a Tennessee Vols fan, man, and I watched a lot of bad football, man, until we hired Josh Heupel. When we first hired Josh Heupel, I was like, look, he bringing a new offensive mind to give me something to be excited about, man, and that's how I'm feeling coming into next season. Give me a reason to believe, bro. Give me a reason to be happy about the Tennessee Titans moving forward, man. It ain't even got to be sick. If we dropping 35 points on people and we only win 7 games, you know what I'm saying? I'm cool with it because I'm like, we wasn't doing that, bro. We couldn't even get the 30 points. You know what I'm saying? Like, so at this point, like, I know the roster is not going to be a good roster next year, but I'll say this though: just give me something to be excited about. Give me something for me to be happy, and I just take it as year one. You know, so.
Right. It's all about It's all about, progress. I mean, you seen that the Titans had one of, if not the worst, offensive line in the NFL this past season or this season right here. Man, if they come out next season and you see the offensive line is playing better, you see them playing at a serviceable or average level, I mean, that's improvement. If you see, like RJ said, if you see that, we come out here and put up 30 points or whatever and actually beat a team decisively that we should beat decisively or whatever, that's progress. And, I can't put a number on it. I'm not going to put a number on it right now, but with that type of progress, the way the NFL is set up, if the Titans show that type of progress next season, they will find themselves in position to, maybe they can make a wild card playoff push, or, maybe even sneak the division. I mean, shoot, the league, y'all know how this league shit goes, man. It changes every single year. And just because, Houston, had a good season this year, I mean, that don't mean that, they gonna go out there and have a good season the next year. I mean, look at Jacksonville. They went and, pulled the Titans. They, had the division right there in their hands, and they sit up there and gave it away in the last game of the season. So I'm just saying that, a little bit of progression can go a long way. And that's what I'm looking for next season. I'm just looking for, improve offensive line play or whatever, improve wide receiver play or whatever. More yards per carry for the running backs. Now, Callahan, he isn't, run first guy. I mean, he set up there and pretty much said it that, he believes that, the passing game is the wave in today's NFL. But if you see a more productive and efficient running game, that's improvement. So just make little small improvements, and I'll be happy with the first year.
Yeah, bro. And to me, like, truly this first year, I just want to be able to see what your vision is moving forward. Honestly, even if we don't execute and go start putting out 30 points our first year or really be one of those top offenses, because we're still trying to work out the kinks, which that will be a thing. We will still need to have to work out some kinks as they come out. But I just want to be able to see that when we go out there, even if we don't execute the full play and how we want it, I just want to be able to see that. Oh, okay, I see where you want to try. Okay, I see your vision. I see what you want us to be. Okay, we're this missing piece away. Okay, we're this away from. Okay, I see. That's all I'm hoping for within this year. And we talked about free agency, and we talked about his dad coming with him, but there's somebody else we kind of hoping come over with him too. There is somebody else we kind of hoping that come right back to Tennessee, come back home, come on over with Brian. T. Higgins, go ahead. Come on over with them. Hey, at least you'll have one guy in the wide receiver room, at least one guy on your offense that also kind of knows what you're wanting to accomplish as well. You're going to have coaches that do it too, but at least you got somebody in the meeting room, somebody in the huddle that knows what you want to do as well, that's on the field. So go ahead. We have our questions, some injuries, this and that, but sometimes a leader in a locker room and in a position that can coach up people and teach them what you want to do is a big emphasis on the game, as well as not only what, attributing to plays.
So yeah, let's talk free agency a little bit or whatnot. I think I just seen a picture of T. Higgins come up on the screen or whatever.
Yeah,
I
right
don't
there,
know if
bud.
yeah,
Yeah,
young
man, it
T.
was destined to
Higgins,
be.
man. Before the tattoos, before I don't know if he got facial hair right now, but you know what I'm saying, young T. Higgins or whatnot. Y'all already know, he's local guy, Middle Tennessee guy or whatnot. His love for Nashville has been seen on social media throughout the years or whatnot. And man, I'm not gonna lie, I would love for T. Higgins to come back home, but I got my concerns about T. Higgins. I mean, there is a possibility that Cincinnati may franchise him. But then I'm concerned about, his injury history. Now, I see a lot of our fellow fans, they flip out anytime a player gets injured. They tried to justify, trading AJ Brown by saying that he never ran. He ain't played 16 games in so long. He ain't played 16 games since 1975 and all this old dumbass shit. But yeah, those injury concerns are real about T. Higgins. I don't know about, giving him, the type of money that he would command in free agency because of that. But at the same time, the Titans have to get players in here. And I'm gonna start it off with you, RJ. Man, how would you attack the wide receiver position in free agency and the draft, now knowing who our head coach is?
Now that I know we got out there head coach, man, one thing I looked at is the type of personnel that he plays. And anybody that plays football, what 12 personnel is and 11 personnel. 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, one running back. That's Mike Vrabel's. That was Mike Vrabel's bread and butter, saying while he was here. We always had, was it a 2 tight end set? Mostly because of our running back, but most of the time it fitted with Tannehill.
Offensive line, so
yeah, that too. But even when our offensive line was good,
yeah,
if fit
Arthur
Tannehill's
Smith
strength.
was, yeah.
Yeah, it fit Tannehill's strengths. And I'll say this. But when I looked at Brian Callahan's scheme, it's more 11 personnel. So if you don't know 11 personnel is, 1 tight end, 1 running back. So, and that means there's 3 wide receivers out there. So if we're always going to have 3 wide receivers out there at the same time, I would say if T. Higgins doesn't get franchise tag, that's no guy number 1 that we're going after, because he already fits the scheme that that Brian Callahan runs. And I say either go wide receiver in the first, second round. And I know people are gonna, well, we need the line. And yeah, I'm with you. I want an offensive line. I want to be able to protect, Will Levis. But at the same time, I look at it like this though. I watched the Bengals draft Jamar Chase and having the worst offensive line, and they went to the damn Super Bowl. I mean, granted, I don't think we have a quarterback as good as Joe Burrow, but at the same time, though, like a wide receiver's impact on the game is to me on the same level as the offensive line, So I just today's game. I don't know about back then, but today's game and the way they throwing the ball, man, them wide receivers make a difference, man. So if we could go Malik Neighbors in the first round, or this wide receiver class is just so stacked, you can wait till the second round. You can get you a Xavier Worthy, get you a AD Mitchell, you can go get Troy Franklin in the second round, Xavier Leggett. There's a lot of guys, man, and I'm just happy because I know that Brian Callahan, he loves receivers, man. That's his thing, man. He knows receivers like the back of his hand, man. And we've never had that here. You know what I'm saying? We've never had that here since maybe we were the Oilers, like with Warren Moon. You know what I'm saying? It's time for us to, I really think we're gonna be so excited about this hire, man, just because the way he really like emphasis on his passing game, man. And I want to see it in full force. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, no, so like, because I agree with you though. Like for me, because like we do have some injury concerns with Higgins, but for me, it's like if we bring somebody in like Higgins that already know him, all right, cool, you might have an injury, but if you could still be in the film room with the other wide receivers pointing out, like, hey, this is what he's talking about, this is what he likes, that shit still matters too. So that puts a little emphasis on it. And I don't think the Bengals have the money to franchise tag him. Like, they're already playing Chase. They already just gave Burrow that big ass contract. Can you really truly afford to tag Higgins at $20 million a year? And Higgins ain't worth $20 million a year. He's not an AJ receiver. So for me, I'm like, if we can get Higgins here at a $12 million, year contract, 16 with incentives, I think that'd be a damn good deal. That'd be something you can come. Hey, you do have some injury questions. You've been a number 3 there. You come here where you're automatically a number 2. You maybe try to teach up Burks. You come in, go right behind D-Hop. You help Brian setting it on the offense and the infrastructure that he wants. You're already coming to a system that you're familiar with now after leaving a system that you've been familiar with. So there's a lot of positives to that. And then, if he does get hurt, then at least you still got another guy that still plays in a film room or out there in practice or talking to within that wide receiver room that can teach these younger guys or these other guys that are coming in of what Brian wants. This is how you read the route. This is how you do the things. And I think that would be a huge emphasis to help. Now, whether Boyd, I'll take Boyd too, but one of them, Boyd or Higgins, would be, I think, truly helpful in us solidifying and getting our offense set in the beginning, early stages, and maybe even helping the development of Treylon Burks.
Yeah, man. Another wide receiver. I was looking at if we don't get T. Higgins or whatnot. I mean, I was actually thinking about, should we double up on wide receivers in free agency? But a guy that I wouldn't be mad about having is Rashid Shaheed from the Saints, man.
Yeah, I like him.
I like him, man. I mean, that guy right there, he's got some legit speed. He's a good route runner, and he can help out on special teams as well. He's a legitimate kick returner or whatnot. And even if they and honest to God truth, I'm kind of leaning towards, what I'm saying, they got to do their due diligence on T. Higgins, most definitely. But for me, I mean, I would honestly, see what Shaheed is talking about. And, if we can get Shaheed in here and, see how the draft. Say what?
He could play that slot.
Yeah, because you got to think about it with T. Higgins as well. We kind of got, that type of wide receiver. I'm not saying fucking Treylon Burks is T. Higgins. Let's not know that.
But stature-wise.
Before anybody say that, you're right. I mean, him and T. Higgins are, the same type of wide receiver. You throw them 50-50 balls, you let them go get the motherfucker. I mean, if you give them a little short pass play over the middle or whatever, they can get you some yak. D-Hop, I mean, although D-Hop isn't a big yak guy, he's, a possession type of guy, which, Treylon Burks and T. Higgins with their skill set, they kind of fall in to that same category as well. And, we've been preaching about, the Titans need to go get speed as well. So we're having Shaheed, you getting speed, and maybe in the draft, depending on how the draft plays out, and that's something else we're going to talk about as well or whatnot, because Callahan has some comments, about, Titans offensive lineman. But, if those top 2 left tackles aren't around when we get ready to pick, I mean, we could possibly be in play for, the wide receiver out of Washington or Malik Neighbors or one of those guys, man. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see once, we get into the meat of the offseason.
You on mute, Firestone.
I'll wait on.
Yeah.
I'll wait on you saying
I know T. Higgins is going to run around that 20-24 million mark, but you know how teams are in the NFL. Once you have injuries, they start price cutting you like a motherfucker. So that's what's going to be him. Like, he's going to want 20, but you saw how hard it was for Debo to get 20 when they started pulling up some of them injuries. That's why it was easier for AJ to get 20 than it was for Debo, because Debo had them injuries, and for them in a business wise, they love to use injuries against you in a contract situation. So, there might be some teams that might pay T. Higgins 20, but I don't know if those will be necessarily the teams that he wants to go to either. But we'll see what it's going to be and what the market actually, sets it out for. But I know teams like the price gouge once you got injuries stacked up.
Well, one thing I wanted to point out is that I think they're about to make Jamar Chase the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. Because his contract is coming up. So I just find it so hard for them to just pay him that contract because he's going to be getting over 30 mil. And I look at it like that. Like if he's getting over 30 mil, dude, are you telling me they're going to pay 19 million on top of that, bro, to get another wide receiver that has injury issues, man? He's not worth 19 million in my opinion. So
right.
I don't see that, man. They have other holes in their team they need to fix, man. This is arguably one of the best wide receiver classes ever. And you're telling me that they're not going to go get a wide receiver for the cheap? They can easily just go in the draft and get another receiver that can play. That could be number 2 to Jamar Chase. And as much as I know they love T. Higgins, and T. Higgins has done a lot for them, he means a lot to the city of Cincinnati. But at the same time, man, it's a business, man. You gotta let players go, man. It's hard to pay a quarterback, pay the wide receiver, pay the tight end, pay the line, play the running backs. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to pay all these guys. So I just look at it like this, man. It's gonna be very hard for them if they pay Jamar Chase that contract that I know that they're gonna pay him. It's gonna be very, very hard to pay T. Higgins. Franchise tag him.
Bro, you can't justify paying almost $100 million for 3 offensive players. You just can't. And that's what it is. Because Joe Burrow's like 30, 35 million, something around there. Mm-hmm. So then you say Jamar Chase gets that around there. There's already 60 mil right there. Like you can't. If you're going to pay these top people, you got to get some other people for the lower. Else you're going to be sitting here like Kansas City. You're paying a bunch of people, but now you're trying to figure out and find a pass catcher for the low. That's not really easy to necessarily do. So you can't expend all your cap space in too many star talents. You got to let some people go because you still got to build a 54-man roster, and you can't be spending $100 million on 3 players.
If he comes here, I think he probably say D-Hop does stay. Because we're only paying D-Hop $12 million to be our wide receiver 1. We could pay, we probably pay T. Higgins more, but at the same time, I look at it like this. We'll be paying him to try to be our wide receiver 1 in the future. I don't think if D-Hop stays, he wouldn't be a wide receiver 1 for 1 year. He'd be a wide receiver 2 for 1 year, then he'll just jump to 1. You know what I'm saying? He has a chance to be at home near his family on top of being the wide receiver 1. I just think that he's already with his old offensive coordinator, man, that he's familiar with and the system that he's familiar with. He's always wanted to be wide receiver 1 at some point in his career. I know he don't want to keep playing in the shadow of Jamar Chase. So, like I said, man, T. Higgins, man, come on to Nashville, man. We've been waiting on you, man. It's been etched in stone, man. You don't pull up that picture again, man.
Yeah, and these wide receivers in the draft,
man.
And these wide receivers that been coming out the draft, especially this year's class right here. Mm-hmm. These wide receivers been popping. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm on this show. Y'all can catch me saying, I don't want them goddamn slot receivers. Fuck them slot receivers. Them little motherfuckers and all this old foolishness that I said or whatever back in that time. But I just didn't want them in the first round. And, I stand by that. I mean, I do not want no fucking slot receiver in, the high first round. But at the same time, like I said, these wide receivers been popping. So, in Cincinnati's case, like RJ said, I mean, they can go and get, a legitimate wide receiver number 2 in the draft, just like the Titans. If, we don't wind up with T. Higgins or whatnot. Mm-hmm. I mean, we still got some guys we can go get in free agency on top of the 7th overall pick. And depending on how the board plays out, I mean, we could come away with a damn good dude. But let me throw this out here to y'all as well. Let's say that one of those left tackles is available. And you still got, Neighbors, the guy from Washington out there, whoever else that's on the board at 7. What direction do you think Callahan would go? Because we seen what direction Cincinnati went in or whatnot. But Callahan also made some comments, and I think A to Z Sports brought this up, but Callahan did make some comments about, Peter Skoronsky, and he pretty much said that he felt that Peter Skoronsky was the best offensive lineman in this past draft, and he also viewed him as a guard as well. So I mean, I know we had our discussions about moving Peter Skoronsky to left tackle, and we got on Vrabel's ass about why he ain't moved Peter Skoronsky to left tackle. But if this guy, and Blaine Bishop even said it too, Peter Skoronsky is probably a better guard or whatever because of his footwork. He doesn't have very quick feet. But Callahan is saying this or whatever as well. I mean, you got to think that Peter Skoronsky, might be better suited as a guard. But what direction would he go if he had, his pick of wide receivers versus, one of those left tackles?
I think that would dictate free agency, right? I think if we get T. Higgins here, I think that's less likely we're going to get a wide receiver in the first round. Or even if we go get a wide receiver in free agency, I think that would be less likely we would draft the wide receiver in the first round. Kind of to what RJ's point is earlier, that they did it with Jamar Chase, and they went and got it when they know they needed an offensive line. But the only wide receiver in this class I see that you would compare that type of transaction to, or like a Jamar Chase, is Marvin Harrison Jr. So unless we're going to go get Marvin Harrison Jr., I don't see why we take a wide receiver before offensive tackle in this draft. That's the only wide receiver I would see in this draft that we would move up before then. Outside of that, bro, if we're at 7, we got to go offensive tackle. We just got to. We got to get that left side solidified for Will Levis to be protected. Now, I do have faith in Brian Callahan because even when Joe Burrow was getting sacked 9 times in the game, they still would win playoff games and still win games with him getting sacked and most sacked and all this. So they still figured out a way to get wide receivers open, and that shows, schemes and coaching strategies. So I'm okay with that, but we got to get an offensive tackle. And some of the guys that we have in this offensive tackle coming up are generational talents, and usually you don't have this. There's 2 or 3 guys that can truly be generational talents in the tackle position that you go get, bro. You're set at tackle for the next 10, 15 years, and that's a huge staple for us. So unless we're going to get Marvin Harrison Jr., bro, we got to go offensive tackle in the first round.
Yeah, I'm with Firestone on that. I think Callahan, he knows the offense. He knows the offense like the back of his hand, man. He's not gonna be able to do what he want to do without the offensive line. He's gonna watch the film and tape and see how bad our blocking was all season, man. And he's like, bro, we need a left tackle, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we got to get some guys, man, in this draft. And another guy we need to watch for in free agency. Nobody's really brought up his name, but the right tackle for the Bengals, Jonah Thomas, is that his name is Jonah something, man. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, watch out for him. I think we're going to left tackle, and if it's there, but if it isn't there, I expect the Titans to trade back. Either trade back or pick Malik Neighbors. But we got to get if the left tackle ain't there, man, we're going to have to most definitely come with the best play, either the best available player or the trade back. So that's where I'm at,
bro. It got to be Joe Alt or that dude from Washington, and I'm just not going to say his name because I'll butcher the fuck out of it.
His name's Jonah Williams.
No. From
he talking about RJ talking about from Cincinnati.
Yeah,
but I'm saying like draft wise that there's Joe Alt and then that dude from Washington. Last name starts with an F. I'll butcher his name, but those 2 guys.
Fasano.
Yeah. So those are 2 good tackles, bro. I say that for me. What so far I'm looking at, those are 2 tackles we got to take in the first round for me. But no, I'm still looking to tape. But those 2 guys right there, man, they really jump off the tape to me.
Yeah, especially Alt, man. I mean, shoot, I locked in on Alt this past weekend, and good God, I mean, no homo, y'all. Can I say no homo on here? But man, what? Yeah, pause. Yeah, pause. Yeah, pause.
We get in trouble for that other one,
Okay,
we say too many times, YouTube gets upset.
Cool. So pause. Man, watching Joe Alt, man, he gives me butterflies, man. I mean, shoot, just watching him, watching his film, watching how, technically sound he is. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's just so heartwarming to see that, man. And, I get excited, watching Joe Alt and thinking about Joe Alt in a Tennessee Titans uniform, man.
Talking about this man right here.
Yes.
I really
Nice
like Joe
graphic,
Alt. That's
by
my
the way,
tackle.
man. Y'all been turning up, man. RJ with these intros. We gonna need RJ to do the remix as well. And then Firestone coming with these goddamn graphics, boy. We turning up on here. But back on subject. Man, Joe Alt, man. I mean, shoot, man. Like I said, man, I get butterflies watching him play football, man. It gets me excited. And if Levis has, that type of protection, he can play the type of game that he wants to play. He'll have time to, take those shots downfield that, he'll have more time to, go through progressions because, with fucking Dillard and Duncan, I mean, shoot, that man probably got 1.5 seconds to throw the football, man, and it shouldn't be that way for a young quarterback. So, I mean, if by some chance Joe Alt is around for the Titans, they got to get Joe Alt. And I haven't really locked in on Fasanu, whatever his name is.
Hey.
I haven't really locked in on him yet, but I will. But I mean, shoot, it sounded like the Titans gotta take either one of those dudes if they are there, because left tackle, you just can't just up and go get a left tackle you can keep around for the next 10 plus years. I mean, you just can't get that. You're not going to get that in free agency because it's a premium position. And when teams get these guys, they don't let them go. They keep them around. They keep them around for as long as they can play. So I know everybody wants the sexy pick. Everybody wants, Marvin Harrison Jr. That's the dream pick or whatever. And you go with the dream pick too if you can get the damn dream pick. But outside of that right there, I mean, they got to get one of these tackles because the wide receiver group, it's a damn good group of wide receivers this year. And you don't need a 7th overall pick to go and get a quality wide receiver.
Yeah, bro, and the Washington dude too, if I remember correctly, because I gotta dive in a little bit more, and a lot of stats been going. But all last year he didn't give up no sacks, and if I remember correctly, his whole college career was only 2 sacks he gave up in 290 something plus snaps. He only gave up 2 sacks and I think like 3 or 4 QB hits, bro. That's impressive. That is highly impressive. And there at one time there for 2 seasons, the whole entire Washington's O-line didn't give up an entire sack for 2 whole or gave up only 6 sacks for 2 entire seasons. So them dudes on them Washington O-line, bro, they know how to play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. One thing, that's why I'm happy about we can get Bill Callahan, man, and maybe we get Mike Munchak, man. Lord, bro, because I just feel like, bro, some of these linemen that we got are talented, bro. They didn't have the right coaching, bro. Like I just
MPF maybe.
I feel like Dillard better than what the hell he been showing, bro. Like,
no, I wouldn't take that chance. I don't want to take that chance. Is he still up under contract? Is the real question.
Yes, he's still under contract. He's on the contract for like 2 more years, bro.
How many times have you seen an offensive lineman after a game getting his ass whooped, getting coached up by the defensive man that whooped his ass? How many times have you seen that?
I don't like that right now.
Hey, Bill Callahan ain't playing this shit. That's all I'm saying. He ain't playing. We ain't finna have no bullshit lineman out there. We get Callahan, boy.
Bro, when you lose confidence and faith in yourself as a man, sometimes there's some things that just can't bounce back for. And I think Dillard lost his manhood that game, bro.
I
Yeah,
just feel
man.
like, man, that like people like Dylan Radis got talent, bro. They not that damn bad. Like, there's no way, man.
I've never seen.
Brother said he's
Uh,
on the doctorated train.
I've
Like,
never
these
seen.
boys
I'm
they
a
made it to the
Sun.
league somehow, bro. Like, there's no way they're this damn trash.
Dylan
Like,
Brewer, tougher than the
Bro, the
$2
average
steak.
year. Bro,
oh
it's
yeah,
just
Brewer,
like I've
nah, bro.
never.
He's just way too fucking small, bro.
Yeah.
He please let this man go. Please, I'm tired of
He's
Dylan.
good in relief, man. I mean, if you put him out
Yes.
there for, you know what I'm saying, in a backup role, he have to come in if a guy gets injured or whatnot. He's cool right there. But as a starter for 17 games, oh hell no. And Tyler brought up we don't have a center. You damn right we don't have a center. But at the same time, too, you don't need to go spend. They're not gonna go spend no high ass pick on no center. I mean, let's keep it funky. I mean, shoot, Titans get draft the center. They'll draft the center in probably the 4th or 5th round, unless it's just a guy out there who just looks like freaking Jason Kelsey or whatever. Is he the right Kelsey brother?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
went blank.
yeah.
Yeah, he's the
Nah,
right
he's
Kelsey
right.
brother.
Yeah.
He the right.
And-
Travis is the tight end. But yeah, unless he just look like, you know, Jason Kelsey out the gate or whatever. I mean, Titans go get a center in the 4th or 5th round, and that center can probably come in and, you know, be a legitimate starter. Because I mean, shoot, let's keep it funky. I mean, the Titans center situation. I mean, shoot, we not looking for no fucking all-pro. We just looking for a bigger motherfucker that can block.
Yeah, and bro, there's some centers in free agency, and there's some good centers coming out in this draft too. Now they're not like first round centers that you need to go grab, which ain't too many of them, but you could still grab us a good center in the 3rd round with this draft so far too. So I mean, if we don't grab one in free, there's a lot of options at center basically for this year though. It's not a scarce position for us, but we are gonna have to snag one up.
Right. But yeah, man. Y'all ready to go ahead and wrap this thing up for the night, man?
Yeah,
I
man,
think
I
we
think
done entertained the people pretty well tonight, man. We done got into you know this coaching thing. I feel good about the hire, regardless of the fact that, you know, he ain't never called plays or whatever. Like I said earlier, hell, if he ain't good at it, shoot, as long as he's willing to, you know, put his pride to the side and, you know, give up play calling or whatnot, we'll be cool. It ain't no big issue with me right here, right there. I'm more worried about, you know, how he responds, you know, when times get hard or whatever. Is he gonna, you know, be able to hold the team together when, you know, the offense may not be doing good or the defense may not be doing good? Is he able to, you know, pick a player up in the time of need or whatnot? He sees, you know, one of his players, you know, struggling or whatnot on the field. Is he going to, you know, have it in him to go to that player and, you know, coach that player back up to the point where, you know, that player can go out there and perform? That's what, you know, my concern is going into this thing with Brian Callahan. But outside of that, I like the hire.
Yeah. Are you gonna be able to delegate?
Yeah, I love the hire, man. I think it was a good hire, man. I think it's been everything I've been asking for. You know, I think it was like I said a while back that I think we need to go ahead and cut ties on Mike Vrabel even before people was, you know, was on the train, man. And I think it's time for us to evolve. Like, I'm tired of seeing us. I got tired of seeing us run the football 30 times a game, bro. We've been doing that shit for 20 plus years, bro. I'm tired of it, bro. We ain't won no Super Bowl. We ain't been nowhere close. We've had #1 season, got put out the first fucking game because this shit. Once we can't run the ball on a team in the playoffs, we look fucking horrendous, you know. So it's time, man. It's time for us to evolve, man. Next time when we get that #1 seed, bro, we're winning the damn Super Bowl, bro. I promise you, we're gonna win that motherfucker.
Yes, sir. Firestone, any final words before we head out?
No, man. I'm excited about this. Just gonna see. I'm excited to see the team he puts together as a coaching staff and how him and Rand starts to attack this free agency and then attack this draft to see what the team is actually going to look like. I think what the press conference is Friday that they're going to have for us, hopefully. So hopefully Friday we'll have
the end of the week.
Yeah, bro. So hopefully we'll have a little bit of, a little bit more perspective of what he's wanting from a team, what he's kind of looking for, what type of players, which we kind of already know, but at least we'll know a little bit more. But man, I'm just excited to see who he brings on this coaching staff and then who we're going to do and who we're going to pursue in free agency, man. It was looking gloom, but man, I'm excited, man. I'm truly excited and looking forward to this next year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So with that being said, man, Firestone, go ahead and talk to him one more time, man.
Yes, this episode is brought to you by our sponsors at lionsdenbeardcollection.com. Get all the top luxurious products that you need for your beards. They also have the Lioness collection for the ladies out there as well, so you can go get lip gloss and other products coming to you in the future as well. So go to lionsdenbeardcollection.com, use promo code Colosseum, get 25% off your order. As well, start your mornings off right with Sunny Smiles Coffee. Go to sunnysmilescoffee.com. Get some of the freshest roasted coffee you'll get. It is, several different flavors. It's from different areas and origins and all that. And they have free shipping on all their orders right now. So go grab a sample pack. Go grab your favorite type of coffee and start your days off right with sunnysmilescoffee.com.
Man, let me ask you a question about that coffee, man. Do they got pods?
Yes, they got pods, capsules. So it's under there as capsules. They got it as whole bean. You can get it grounded. You can get it espresso. They got it in all different ways. You just find the flavor or the origins that you want. Click on that. You get your size, and you get how you want it to be coming to you as well.
Do it give you that good coffee high?
Yeah, it's good, nice tasting, fresh, not too bitter, it's all natural flavors, not artificial flavors. So, bro, it's really a nice. There's a lot of coffee that I can't drink black, and this stuff, bro, it comes in, I can make it up, and I ain't gotta add sugar, I ain't gotta add creamer, I ain't gotta add nothing to it. Just drink it straight black, bro, and it's not too bitter. It's real good.
Yes, sir, man. It sounds like I'm gonna have to invest in some of that good old coffee, boy. I need me a good cup of coffee in the morning that'll, get me going, get me, feeling good, make me feel like, I can go run a marathon knowing goddamn well I can't run out the driveway.
Yeah, we'll get a package out there to you, man. We'll get it out there to you.
Yeah, so we gotta make that happen, man. But hey, man, thank y'all for watching tonight, man. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, tell a friend about us, blah, 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 this, then, and the third. Make sure you go over to TitansColosseum.com. Sign up for our email list. Never miss a live show, press article, or breaking news. You must be on the email list for any future giveaways. And man, y'all make sure y'all, pay close attention to us coming up, man. Cause like we said earlier on the show, man, we got some things we getting together, man, that I think y'all gonna love. But once again, y'all, thank y'all for watching tonight. Everybody be safe out there, stay blessed, and tighten the fuck up. Let's go.